Why are the LGBT people so scared of Trump? This has been asked of me by a few people, so okay. Let's see if I can explain this in a way that even the walking Dorito chip in a wig could get. This is Sean Hilton. Welcome to Bastards for Liberalism. The LGBT community has been fighting a war for the last 50 years or so for the rights that should have been theirs anyway. And I say that because nowhere in any way, shape, or form does the Constitution look at your sexual preference for any rights. Not one time. But okay, so the biggest worry for the gay, lesbian, and bisexual community is the right that they have slowly fought for and won, the right to marry who they love, and not based on the gender of the bride slash groom. Now, as an openly bisexual man, it is impossible for me to sit here and explain to you why I'm able to love both a man and a woman. It's likely impossible for a gay man or a lesbian woman to explain the same thing. Just like it would be impossible for you as a straight person to explain how you can't love someone unless they are the opposite sex. So I'm not even going to try. But as to why they are so scared, it's because a right that a straight person has had all along, that they fought hard for, they are worried will be taken away. And a lot more than that, actually, especially when they hear their president and vice president saying things like this.
You know, I think that's a big social issue. And
Gay marriage?
I am not in favor of gay marriage.
On your screen right now, you will be seeing a scroll. All of these things, by the way, are things that Mike Pence has done or said about gay couples throughout his tenure as governor of his Hoosier state. So, you know, these are all things that you probably would want to read. I would make them go a little slower, but my video would get just super long. So, judging just on those things, you can see the valid fear here. They honestly see a world where Mike Pence and Donald Trump could overturn the laws that are still very recent for the right to marry. But the smarter of the LGBT see it as something else, the slippery slope. What do I mean by that? It was not long ago that it was actually illegal to be a gay or lesbian. In fact, the first state actually to decriminalize it was Illinois in motherfucking 1962. That's right, you heard me. Until 1962, you could be jailed if you were lucky, and in one state, you could be shot. Now, I know that may sound like a long fucking time ago to some millennials, but considering that was only 11 years before I was born, that's not that long ago. I'm not that old. You cannot see it right now, but this is me glaring at my daughter through the screen in a way that says very clearly, not one motherfucking word. So yeah, that is not that long ago. And the slippery slope I was talking about, if they remake the right to marry for gay couples illegal, what's to stop them from not going backwards on the rest? Just in my lifetime, you first could not serve in the military at all if you were gay, and then it was no ask, no tell. Mike Pence actually voted against the repeal of no ask, no tell. So here we go, they make gay marriage illegal again. Then Mike Pence makes no ask, no tell the law of the land again, and so on and so forth. But why? Does it hurt him for us to love someone of the opposite not of the opposite sex? No, it's because it's against his religion. But here, this is where things get murky. The Constitution doesn't decide who gets rights based on sexual preference, but it does have an amendment which reads, and some of you will recognize this amendment because I've called it the liberal's best friend, much like I do the Second Amendment for conservatives. That's right, we go to our old friend, the First freaking Amendment. The First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states, Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The two parts known as the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause, respectively, form the textual basis for the Supreme Court's interpretations. Now, this means that they have a freedom of religion, but the government can't make a law respecting a religion, and there is nothing, no reason at all, who you love and who you like to get naked and horizontal with slowly, no, wait a minute, let me get back on track, should affect anyone else but you, except because of religion. But based on the scroll I had in the beginning of this, Mike Pence and most of his conservative buddies never cared about that. For all their screaming about how much they love the Constitution of the United States, they go out of their way to ignore that part of it. But this is not things that they're making up. It's not things that the LGBT community are making up out of fear. These are things that Trump and Pence have actually done and or said. So the idea of having these two men in the White House with a conservative House and Senate that would basically give them the ability to do whatever they wish is a valid fear. Now, you have some LGBT Republicans who try to play down this fear, and I don't know if they are just willfully not paying attention to history or they are ignoring it. But in this case, history is not on the conservative side. Everyone who identifies themselves as conservative has something in their record that is bad for the battle for gay rights. Don't Ask, Don't Tell wasn't repealed until we had a liberal Senate and a liberal president. Gay marriage wasn't repealed until we had a liberal president and a liberal Senate. Every setback that any rights fight has had in the past 50 years, and not just the LGBT, has happened under the watchful eye of conservatives. So them being afraid of this right now is a valid thing to be based on actual history. And no, Trump holding up a rainbow flag and saying, I will protect the rights of LGBT at one speech is not going to change that, because actions speak louder than words. Yes, I hear someone screaming, give him a chance. No. Why? Because when we were saying that 8 years ago and all through that time, while conservatives were blocking everything Obama tried to improve the world, they didn't. And we have a lot more history that we can look at to know what they are likely gonna fucking do. This has been Sean Hilton from Bastards for Liberalism. Remember to like and share our videos and posts, but most of all, remember to fact check everything we say in them. Know that we are telling you the truth, because maybe then we can survive the future.